Welcome, Americans and Patriots. All right. So, real quick tip of the day. Take time to do something to be happy. Whatever it is, spending time with family, you got a game you like, you got a favorite drink, you got, favorite food. Just take time out just for pure pleasure for a little bit. Keep spirits high, do what you like. That is an important thing to make sure that you're staying focused on. Also keeping your mental health in good spirits, because being trapped inside these messed up times with these messed up rules, it's easy to kind of go downhill. Definitely keep busy, but take a little bit of time out to just do something fun, something makes you happy. Even if it's just throwing a ball for a dog or whatever, make sure you do that. Monica, hello, and thank you. Monica was a huge help in making sure this InfoWars thing happened. So, perfect cue. I am just going to jump right into it. So, InfoWars did a great article on us. I already put that up and shared that around. Shared that to a ton of groups that I'm a part of. Some of them with 100,000 people in them. Some of them with 20, 30 to 50,000. So literally got that out today to I want to say probably close to 500,000 people. At least minimally 250,000. So, and then it just keeps getting shared from there. So while we're doing that, we definitely are spreading the word. We're not just doing the interviews and letting their audience take it. We're also using that to spread the word so that we get it out even further. And then, so there was the written article or web article that they did, and that went out to all their subscribers. And then also, I did an interview on there with Owen Schroyer, and that went phenomenal. He was great. Huge help there. They even invited back for after this thing. I've also gotten an invite from John Anthony from Black and Right. That great local Chicago radio station. Everybody check that out. Like him, he was one of the first to jump on this. And support and help. He has been a huge help on this and this fight and getting it going. So if you haven't already, make sure you hop on his the Facebook page for there and like that page. Lots of good content there. So that's the start of InfoWars. I got contacted by another producer. This producer that Monica hooked us up with actually talked to another producer, as well as John Rappaport. He also sent a message to the same person so that we would potentially get on with Alex Jones himself, the big man there. And that is, they're trying to work that out for this week. So to make sure this thing happens and we get as much publicity on this as possible. So, the possibilities here are just expanding massively. Other thing I wanted to bring up, tomorrow morning, I think it's 10 o'clock. I'll put a link up for it. But Mark Meckler from OpenTheStates.com, who's been supportive of us already, I'm going to be doing a podcast with him. It's not going to be available right away. They're not a live broadcast, but it is going to be out there, and he's going to talk about the constitutional stuff, the legal stuff on this. So anybody who isn't 100% sure what's going on is going to get some great info from an actual expert. Not just me reading the Constitution, although, like I said, 100%. It was written so that the average American could read it and understand it and be able to make sure that it was being followed. So that is media news on a global scale. He's Mark plays in a whole new arena, so I don't know where that will lead. It's this thing is going to be huge, guys. It's going to be amazing. Other news. So we are, as a group, our group is getting reached by local news outlets who want to do stories. Jennifer just sent me over one. Apparently, I'm just so moving that I hit my steps for the day with just moving my arms. I don't know if that's cheating or not. Anyways, sorry, sidebar there. So we're being reached by a lot of local news, and this is a big thing. We want to make sure we run this correctly. So if you have any question, if you're being reached by local media, get a hold of me. I'll help you make sure that you're answering things correctly. If you're one of the state leaders, reach out to me. We haven't quite put together the press briefing packet yet, but if you're reached before that, then definitely get a hold of me. I'll help you through it. We want to make sure that we stay on point with this. So that's happening. The other thing, local politicians are definitely reaching out as well. They are jumping at this, and we reached out today. There was a great news article about a bunch of different politicians and high places that are fighting back against this. So Janae was reaching out to all of them, trying to make sure that they get on board, that they're helping to support and make this thing national news and historic event. So that's kind of where that's going, guys. It's freaking amazing. It's incredible. It truly is. And like I said from the beginning, this is not some ego trip for me. I love when people try to make it out like that. Like this is some, ego trip for me. I honestly didn't want to be here. You can probably still tell I'm not 100% comfortable with this. This isn't my main thing, I'm not trying to be a YouTube star. If I was, I would be doing this totally differently. I would just be ranting and raving and doing crazy shit to try to get attention. That's not what I'm interested in. My interest is solely in making sure that this never ever happens again, and we do it correctly to make sure that happens. That is my sole interest. The only reason my face is on this is so that the message doesn't get hijacked by somebody else and taken over and run the wrong way. We are having an influence right now because of our push on other groups that have been doing stuff and are now coming into our date and our event to stand alongside us. Several of these groups are finally saying that they're going to do 6-foot social distancing, and they are recommending masks. They are not pushing it as hard as we are. I am still not making it mandatory that's the only way you can come to this thing. I never will. My concern is that we do it the right way, and that's it. That we remove as much ammunition from the gun that mainstream media has. That's all. Because if you don't control the message, they will. This has happened to group after group after group after group that mainstream media has attacked. Religious groups, medical freedom fighters, global warming. You can run down a list and lose all your fingers counting. So it's happened time and time again. And the key to this is controlling the message as much as you possibly can so that they can't. People always say, well, they're going to distort the message anyway. Sure. But that doesn't mean we don't have responsibility and we shouldn't be trying to control it. To say that because somebody's going to mess something up, well, you just say, screw it, I'm not going to do anything about it, is stupid. That's a dumb response. I give up then. We're just gonna do what we're gonna do and let them destroy it. That's a dumb answer, guys. So that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to control the story so that they have no way to distort it, at least any means by which we see. So that's really the deal. I'm going to turn it over, see if anybody has any questions or anything going on here, and we'll kind of go from there. And as far as media notes, I am going to get those out tomorrow. Everybody, be pushing the AmericanRevolution2.org website. We want to make sure we have email addresses so that Thursday, when we come out with the safety protocols for these things, as many people as possible get them. We want to make sure everybody's safe. Nobody is provoking police at these things. Nobody's doing anything that could potentially get them arrested. If they are arrested and they're not doing any of the things that we say don't do, then we have a real fight. If you're doing something you're not supposed to, we can't help you. Nobody can. You were doing something wrong. So, we do want to do that. Let's see. Jennifer, masks on or off while speaking at event or to a reporter? To a reporter, keep it on. At the event, God, that's kind of hard. Because I know some of these masks really mess with your speaking. What we'll do is we'll get together and we'll kind of figure that out. We'll figure that out tonight and then get back to you on that. I apologize. I don't have all the answers. I do want to make sure that we do this thing the right way. So let us all think about that, and we'll get back to you on it for sure. Bill Weaver, God bless us all. Absolutely. That's the only thing I can say is, God must be looking down on us. So, and hopefully he's smiling and saying, this is my kind of people. Monica Squires, I'm thrilled that it went well. Yes. And again, you were key in making that happen. So thank you so much. Ann Verna, Alex Jones is a trip. He is. I was talking to Monica the other day. I said, I used to follow him religiously. The last couple years, I really kind of stopped. I just, I didn't have time for it with working. So that was really a thing. Let's see. Justin, shout out to the great state of Hawaii and Talia Strong. Yeah, Talia is kind of taking the reins here in Hawaii and helping get that group back in good leadership standing and with a little bit more control there. The previous leader we had, she just didn't have enough time for this, unfortunately. And a lot of us don't. That's just a thing. Some people are still working. Some people are essential. We still have family time. We're all just making as much time as we can. And that's why it's so key to have so much help and why it is so great that so many are stepping up in this battle. It's freaking amazing. And thank you all for doing it. If some of us are still working, and not just me, not just the national team, state leaders and people that are on state teams are working 20, 22 hours a day to make this thing go right. So, let's see. Timmy Downs, no matter if you hear from anyone, everyone needs to show up at their Capitol building May 1st, 12 noon. Show up. You got anything to say peacefully, go to your state capitol May 1st, noon, and speak. Absolutely. Again, we want to keep everybody on point. We will be making sure that nobody's grabbing the microphone that has something crazy to say. That is definitely a thing. We're hosting this thing. This is our event. Anybody trying to hijack this thing, we're going to be polite, but, we're not going to allow this to be hijacked by somebody with a different message. Eve Morris, the mainstream will still twist it. Deep state is everywhere. I have no doubt the mainstream will try to twist some angle. Again, that doesn't mean we don't have responsibility in controlling what we can control. Imagine if your whole life went that way. You just, if something could go bad, you just gave up trying. That would be a messed up life. Jesus. Yeah. Think about it. Driving down the road, somebody could hit you at any point in time. Somebody could be reckless. So should you just drive irresponsibly? I don't know your thoughts on wearing a seatbelt, but, should you not wear a seatbelt if you do normally? Should you just give up looking both ways? Should you just all safety precautions to the side and say, screw it, because somebody could hit me at any moment? Seems like a bad answer. I don't think that was Eve Morris's point, but yeah, we are aware and we are making sure that goes the right way. Talia, Hawaii's going strong. Love it. And thank you so much for taking the time, to make sure this goes off great in even Hawaii, I know sometimes, Hawaii seems like a whole nother country. I did my honeymoon there. I am such a huge fan of ocean. The fact I live in Illinois and don't have an ocean near me kind of drives me nuts at times. I grew up all along the West Coast and was born out on the East Coast. I've always kind of had an ocean nearby, except for about the last 10, 15 years. But Hawaii, when I went there for my honeymoon, oh my God! You go out in the beach or out in the water a little ways, and there's just like this tiny speck of an island, and there's nothing but water every which direction. It was so fantastic. Hawaii has a special place in my heart. I would love to one day retire there, but I also know it is a different world. So, all right, we're gonna call it quits for the day because it looks like that's all the questions and comments we have. So nice, short, and sweet. I do have a little treat for you guys here. This is a special little thing. Hold on, sorry. Justin, many organizers there too that are doing great. It's a coordinated movement with the islands. Good job, Hawaii. Yes, very. And Justin is more intact with that than I am. So, Eve Morris, yes on the seatbelt. I've seen infiltrating trolls that take away from groups. Just be aware of everyone around you. Yeah, absolutely. And we are paying attention to that. We are booting anybody who seems like a troll right away. So, if for some reason you're watching this and you got booted and you were not a troll, message me. If you're a rude asshole when you message me, I'm just going to assume our immediate assumption was right. I apologize up front. Sometimes when we're being careful like that, things happen. I had a lady try to do that, but then she was rude as hell. And she proved she was a troll. She wasn't even coming to the damn protest. Like, that was my first question. Are you going? Well, no. Okay, well, if you're not going, then you kind of are trolling. Well, how dare you say that everybody who's not going is a troll? That's not what I said. I called you a troll. I didn't call everybody a troll. I called you a troll. You're just in there to cause arguments about stupid things that have no relevance to what we're talking about. Michelle knows who I'm talking about down in Mississippi. It's not Michelle. She knows who I'm talking about, though. So Michelle is great. Anyway, so special treat here. This is a fantastic little speech by one of our great, fantastic, amazing presidents of all time. So I am going to play this as closing for you guys. It's not very long, but it's just a couple minutes. So here you go. Everybody, good luck. Thank you. You're doing amazing. Keep up at it. Spread the word as much as possible. AmericanRevolution2.org. Here you go.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.